Hey friends, welcome back, and today we'll have a look at backend choices and how best to make them. If you're a Flutter developer stepping into backend work, it usually starts with a practical need. You're not trying to switch careers or master infrastructure, you're trying to support a real application that has started to grow beyond what the client alone can reasonably handle, right? At that point, a few familiar names tend to surface: Supabase, Serverpod, Datfrog. They are often discussed together, but they are not interchangeable. So each one approaches backend responsibility differently, and those differences matter more than they first appear. What I want to do in this video is slow that decision down just enough to look at it clearly so you can choose a backend that fits the stage your app is in instead of fighting against it later, right? The backend you choose rarely causes problems immediately. Most of the time, things work at first, but over time, that choice quietly shapes how your Flutter app evolves, where logic lives, how changes are introduced, and how much effort it takes to move forward without breaking things. A common mistake is choosing a backend because it is popular or widely recommended without being clear about what kind of responsibility it assumes. So this is not a ranking, it's an examination of intent. Each of these tools asks something different of you as a mobile architect. Supabase is a management backend platform built on PostgreSQL. You're not running a server in the traditional sense. You're configuring infrastructure that already exists and is already operating at scale. Supabase gives you a database, authentication, storage, and APIs without asking you to define an application server upfront. From a Flutter app, you typically connect directly using the Supabase SDK. Unless you intentionally add another layer, there's no separate backend service sitting in between. In practice, this feels very efficient. You define your tables, you write access policies, you connect your app. For many applications, that's genuinely enough. Most of the backend behavior lives in database constraints, row-level security rules, and SQL functions. This dramatically reduces setup time, but it also means your backend logic is expressed indirectly through configuration rather than code, right? And that trade-off is often acceptable early on. Supabase works especially well when your app is data-driven, your logic is relatively straightforward, and speed matters more than architectural flexibility. As business rules grow, however, the backend can begin to feel fragmented. Logic starts to spread across Flutter code, database policies, and SQL functions. There's nothing inherently wrong with that, but it does require some form of discipline. Eventually, many teams want a clearer boundary between client and server, and that is usually where Supabase stops being the final answer. Serverpod takes a very different approach. It is both an application server and a backend framework written in Dart. That distinction matters because you're no longer configuring a backend, you're running one. With Serverpod, you define endpoints, models, and business logic explicitly. You own the request lifecycle, and it provides structure, like a Dart-based app server, an ORM, background jobs, authentication support, all designed to work naturally with Flutter. Using Serverpod feels deliberate. You define your models once, you write business rules where they belong, you control how requests are processed, validated, and evolved over time. One of the strongest benefits here is alignment. Your backend models and your Flutter models stay in sync because you set them in one place, which removes that entire category of runtime errors and mismatched assumptions. Serverpod makes sense when backend logic becomes a first-class concern. When rules matter, workflows grow, long-term maintainability is no longer an option. So the trade-off here is responsibility. You manage deployment, scaling, and structure. But in exchange, you gain clarity, and clarity compounds over time. How about Datfrog? Datfrog sits at the other end of the spectrum. It's a minimal backend framework for Dart, focused almost entirely on HTTP handling. It gives you routing and middleware and then steps aside. So there's no built-in database layer, no prescribed architecture. Everything beyond request handling is your decision. Working with Datafrog feels close to the metal because you design the structure, you choose the database, you decide how dependencies flow through the system. This makes it an excellent learning tool and a strong option for custom services, but it also means there are fewer guardrails. Datafrog works best when you want full control, when you're building small or focused services, or when your goal is to understand backend architecture rather than abstract it away. So it's less about speed and more about precision. So when you step back, the differences become easier to see. Supabase minimizes backend ownership, Serverpod formalizes it, while Datafrog exposes it completely. So none of these tools are wrong, they simply assume different levels of responsibility at different stages of growth. So this is how you think about your choice. If your priority is validating an idea quickly, Supabase keeps friction very low. If your app is growing and backend logic needs a clear, maintainable home, Serverpod provides structure without leaving dirt. If you want to understand how backend systems are assembled, or you need custom behavior with minimal abstraction, Datafrog gives you that freedom. Many Flutter developers will use more than one of these over time, and that is very, very normal. So if you look through the channel, you'll find individual tutorials on all the three, Supabase, Serverpod, and Datafrog. Those videos go deeper into usage, but this one was all about perspective. Backend choices are rarely about what is most powerful. They're about what stays out of your way today while still respecting where the app is going tomorrow. So the goal is not to commit early, it's to choose deliberately. You need your app to be reliable, maintainable, and scalable in the long run. The backend you choose and your precise use case matters. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.